Percent of change, U6.C2.L4. Take it away, Mr. Romanovich. Hey, okay, so we're going to be doing the percent of change. We're here at lesson 4 of our unit. And what we're going to be able to doing is solving problems involving the percent of change, of course. By the end of this, you should be able to define what the percent of change is. And then you should be able to solve these two problems. So give these a try at the end, and then we'll talk about them when you come in. A DVD player was $280. Now it's only $220. Get out there. I would never buy a DVD player for $220. That's ridiculous. An electric bill goes from $126 to $150. So we're going to find the percent of change in both of those. What is the percent of change? Well, the percent of change is a ratio that compares a quantity to the original amount, and that's the key. So whatever we're doing, we're comparing it to that original amount, whatever that first thing was. And there's two ways that it can go. There could be an increase and a decrease. So we have a percent of increase and a percent of decrease. So if you take a test and your grade goes up, it's a percent of increase. If your grade goes down, it's a percent of decrease. Here's our first example. In our example, we have gas was $1.79 a gallon. Now it's $2.79 a gallon. So the first step in doing these problems, so this is your key right here. Your first step in doing these problems is you need to figure out what the increase is, or decrease. Oh, I forgot about this. Mrs. Anderson had a request for a hat. She had a hat request. So I'm going to wear this hat while I'm solving these problems. So we find the increase. We have 279, and we find the difference between the two, 279 and 179. And we know the difference is $1. It's just $1. I made the numbers, so they're pretty easy. Now we have to find the percent of change. So first step is you find the difference between the two. The second step is we find the percent of change. And to do that, we set up a ratio. And our ratios look like fractions. So we have the amount of increase over the original amount. So we know that that amount of increase was $1. Then we grab our handy dandy and we put 1 divided by 1.79, which is what I have here, equals, I'll do it in blue, it equals 0.558. Now is that a percent? Not a percent yet. To make it a percent, what we want to do is we want to move that decimal place 2 places to the right. 1, 2, which is going to give us 55.8%, or, if we're rounding, 56%. So that's a 56% increase in that gas price. Let me hit my button here. Let's see if I've got it. That's not it. I was looking for the ding, but I couldn't find the ding. Let's go on. Here's our second example. The Apple Watch, it's bombing. They can't sell them. It was $300. Now it's only $229. So the first thing we need to find is the decrease, because our original amount is larger than our new amount. So finding the decrease, we just find the difference between the two. 300 minus 229 gives us 71. Process is the same now to find the percent of change. Percent of change then is the amount of the decrease over the original amount. So I have my original amount already written in, and I got to travel this decrease over here, 71 bucks. Then I pick up the handy dandy. 71 divided by 300 gives me 23.6 repeating. 0, 2, 2, 3, 6 repeating. Write that as a percent. This is horrible. There you go. We move that decimal place 1, 2, and then our percent becomes 23.6%, or 24%, approximately 24%. It was a 24% decrease. Let's take a look at another one here. Oh boy. Mr. Romanovich thought 22 of his 30 students would get an A on the last test. He was wrong. 25 got A's. Great job, guys. What is the percent of error? So we're figuring out how off my estimation was. So what we do is we have to find the amount of the error. That says amount. U-N-T. And then we're finding the difference between what my estimation was, 22, and what the actual was. Estimation actual. So 25 minus 22. It's not the entirely most challenging number to do. Is 3. Now we go to percent of error. In percent of error, we found the amount of the error, which was I was off by 3. And then we find the actual amount. The actual amount was 25. So that gives me a 3 here. This little 3 comes down here. Then we check out our calculator. 3 divided by 25 is 0.12. 0.12. Change that into a percent. Got to move it 2 spots, giving us 12%. Mr. Romanovich was off by 12% in his estimation. Now, let's see if we can hit the target. I'm a little on the fence about my target graphic, so we may not use that ever again. There we go. You should be able to define the percent of change. You should be able to do these 2 problems. Give these a try. If you have questions about them, of course, you can ask me. You can ask Mrs. Benoit. You can check your book. You can rewatch this video. So, good luck. We'll talk soon.